June 23rd.
This is a day of the week at a place in the world.
Yeah.
Very sexual podcast.
Yeah. Here it goes.
Moist sexual.
The meat was moist.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said.
Interpret that as you wish. Or as you fish.
All right, folks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first collaboration of the Everything and Nothing podcast. How's everybody doing today?
It's a beautiful day, neighborhood.
Solid.
Amazing.
So we are here on this glorious Sunday, June 20th, and I am very, very excited, folks, because you're going to give me a second and I'm going to get this out for the best way I know how. Let's lower this so nobody, there you go. We'll make this.
Technology.
And this is, right, and this is so that we can read comments from people.
All
So
right.
that's
Don't
why
say
I'm
anything
doing this.
mean.
No, definitely not.
Be a nice owner.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
tweet the
That's
link
internet
out. Let me
back
tweet
then.
the
Yeah.
link
So
out.
everybody, if you want to get on your little phones and do the whole social media thing real quick while we get this all lined up,
What do I
that'll be
search on YouTube? I
fantastic.
followed you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I didn't know
I
Twitter
think
was
I'm-
still a thing.
No, it is.
It is.
All right. The only
Everything
social
is
media I
happening
use,
on
bro. I'll
Twitter
double
now.
check tomorrow. I wasn't sure about that.
I mean,
So everybody-
it's too late. If you don't know Twitter is still a thing, don't even check tomorrow.
Twitter was cool when I could post it directly to Facebook. They stopped
I
that
mean-
and they added work for me, and I said good night.
I don't know
They're not working together.
what happened.
The president-
when
the president
Instagram
knows
dies, when Instagram dies, they're panicking in the Facebook office. Twitter doesn't die. Twitter doesn't crash. They have nothing to do with each other. Twitter is still very much a thing.
I just never let it be a thing for me.
All right, so we get all our social media out of our systems for 2 seconds. We good?
Oh,
My
yeah.
phone's down.
I'm on the YouTube now.
All right. So welcome everybody to the Everything and Nothing podcast. And today I'm very excited because I have a great panel of guests here with me. These young men and seasonal men
I'll take that.
are part of this very unique community of entrepreneurs. So basically, what we're going to be delving or diving into today is, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What does it mean to be somebody who wants to set their own pace, somebody who wants to create their own path, somebody who doesn't take no for an answer? And what gives you the drive? Not only that, what's your spirit, right? So what's your spirit and what makes you want to be an entrepreneur? That right there, I think a lot of people have a hard time with, dealing with. So in other words, we're always thinking about, hey, look at that guy. Wow, they're so, famous, or they're, wealthy, or what have you. What makes them do what they do and why they do it, right? We all have that sort of envy every once in a while. But the unique group that I have here before me all has their own story about how they set their path to be an entrepreneur. And I'm very excited. So I think we're going to go around the table here and everybody introduce yourselves. You don't have to dive right into what it is that you're working on or the project that you're thinking about. But just let everybody know, who you are and what you're about. So Rob, you want to take care of that?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Sometimes I mix up my words a little bit, but I'm Gallos. I'm Rob Gallos, a VP on Wall Street, and I love entrepreneurship and starting companies since I was a little kid, doing all sorts of stuff. So excited and sharing some cool and embarrassing stuff with you guys.
I like the
And
embarrassment.
embarrassing. That was the important part.
Mostly embarrassing.
Yeah. So the idea is, always we like to set a path and say, hey, listen, I'd like to follow somebody for a little while, right? Hence working on Wall Street, figuring out how finances work and how business works, and then venturing out on your own, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Love that idea. Love that idea. That's the spirit everybody needs to have.
Indeed.
What's up, guys? I'm Ben. I'm here with a lot of great friends, old and new. It's really amazing to be here again. I work on a few different things. One of my main things I work on is with my business partner Joe here. It's Jersey City Tech Meetup, which through a series
Big shout out to Joe.
Hell yeah, Joe. Big series of just not knowing what you're doing in life and kind of just saying yes and going for it. Then these opportunities present themselves to you because you put yourself out there around the right type of people. So you don't really always need to know what you're doing. You just need to be open-minded to any opportunity that comes your way. And sometimes things really just fall into place. And I'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, it's always good to have that, right? You know, I always say this: luck favors the prepared, right? And we talk about that all the time. If you're not putting yourself out there and you're not in the situations where it can happen, the potential is there for those things that you want to happen. It's not going to. It's like saying, "Well, they're lucky," and I go, "No, they're not lucky. They were there.
They were there.
They were there.
Ready.
That's
They
it.
were ready."
Indeed. I'll get some next. So I'm Jeff Broom. I'm the CEO of a company called the Business Kings. We connect small and medium-sized businesses to funding, things of that nature, help them build out their corporate credit, kind of separate them from their personal stuff. And I also have a company called True Science, a CBD company that we launched a couple of months
Big
ago.
things happening with the CBD world now.
Yeah, man. We're about to launch
Cannabis
our
is
little
cool.
first grow in Long Island in New York. So this is it's exciting stuff. And you know, me and my man Shannon go way back, and I'm cursed with this disease called entrepreneurism.
Yeah.
It's a disease. Man.
I love it.
No cure for it.
That right there
Love
is the best of all diseases.
Indeed.
I'd say it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, Fly Boy. What's up?
Yo, we talking about diseases.
You can't start without some diseases. Let's go.
Nah. Meanwhile, I'm like turning away to not cough on the mic. I'm like,
Right. That's why
my name is Keith McPherson. I've created a bunch of things, man, but I've just been blessed to like be myself and now get to a point where I realize like being myself can be a business. I signed with a modeling company a couple months ago, which literally doesn't mean shit. Like it doesn't mean anything, but it means that you're signed as a model and can mean some things. Yeah, you got to put into it. You got to put into it, just like everything else. Podcast wise, we're on this podcast. I didn't want to be a podcast person. I went to school for radio and television, and I still was like, man, everybody's doing a fucking podcast. But it doesn't matter if everybody's doing a podcast. Only some people are going to rise. Only some people are going to actually hit that medium and do something. So I was pulled into George's Box podcast. I'm a huge Yankee fan. Before anyone was podcasting, I was rooting for the Yankees.
To the New York Yankees.
Yeah, we took an L today.
Yeah, but listen to me. How many we win in a row? 9? Or
8
10?
in a row. I was there last night, and I'm like, yo, it's good to be us.
I think it was 4 actually.
Nah,
Sorry.
you're a Mets fan.
Sorry.
They can't get 4 wins ever.
He is a Mets
For the season.
Listen, they're going to take their name away soon.
Yeah.
And give it to somebody else who
Yeah.
wins.
Call them the Ets.
The New York Mets. Just take the T away, put an S in there. The New York Mets.
What if I were to say the New York Spankies, you know?
Yeah, because we be spanking that. We spank the Astros.
Listen,
Keith,
All right, back on track.
tell everybody the same thing, though.
Yeah.
How many W's do the New York Yankees own?
It's ridiculous. We had old timers day today, and I'm literally watching old timers. I'm like, nobody can do this, right? You don't care to go watch the Utah Jazz have old timers day.
Yo, I watch
That's what's
Utah
up.
Jazz.
There's
bro.
not
Why you
enough-
disrespecting
That's
them?
your problem.
There's no other
That's the
organization
only one
that
in the
can
crowd.
roll out
They
their teams
have
from
two
the last 50
old-timers.
years.
Yeah.
Great players that won championships from the last 50 years, and people love it.
History,
Right?
baby.
They bought them all.
If the Mets tried to do this, it'd be like, there's like 86, 69. But yeah, let's wrinkle it back in. So George's
I
Box
don't even watch
podcast
baseball, honestly.
is my podcast, which I didn't even really create or want to be on, but it's a blessing to have. So I'm a model. I do the modeling thing. I'm a Yankee fan naturally, so now I have a Yankees podcast. These guys do Jersey City Tech Meetup. I created a little Instagram called the New Jersey City that like I don't even really put too much into because people start to make their own, you know how the internet is. They take a name, they want to call it something or be something. But I've started to like get some opportunities from that, really just trying to shine a light on what we're doing in Jersey City and what's going on in Jersey City. Super cool. And last but not least, man, I am a social media person, right?
Yes.
If you look
That I
on
know.
my LinkedIn, it's just, okay, I was a social media manager, digital marketing manager. I'm not doing that anymore. I stepped out of the corporate world almost a year ago. But I've been able to apply that to so many things quietly, anonymously, and to my own brand, right? If I'm going to be an entrepreneur and make myself something, I have to use social media to make at least look like I'm doing something.
Without a doubt.
So I've been able to, you know, shift that corporate experience and apply it there and even help people, you know, people that, hey, man, I don't know how to use Instagram. You just said Twitter wasn't a thing. I'm like, no, but it is a thing.
Yes.
I could show you how you could probably pull more Jersey people.
Well, I
in
have one
on
thing to
Twitter.
say about the Twitter thing. Anybody thinks Twitter's not alive? I got one person to mention. Trump. So
Yeah.
if you think Twitter does not work, that man,
My man is firing them off at
listen to me.
7 a.m.
Twitter loves
Get
that
some
guy.
sleep, dude.
Loves that guy. So Twitter is very much
Not at all in.
Self-proclaimed.
not the least.
Anchor us. Bring it
Anchor
home.
leg.
bro.
There you go.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone out there on the internet.
Hey.
My name is Joseph L. Cameron. I own JLC Social Marketing. We do marketing, training, and events. We have been in business for over 10 years.
That's what's up right there. The 10-year marker.
Yeah.
He's now
Decade.
he's tenured.
Yeah,
Counting decades now.
You like that? He's tenured.
You get a pension now, right?
Most of the businesses we work with make over $1 million a year. A lot of them we helped get there, so very proud of that.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
One little interesting story I like to tell when I'm trying to explain my business to people is we just
I do
started-
shit.
Yeah, I do stuff on the internet, you know, Facebook, posting. So
It's very much real, folks.
one of the little stories I like to tell is we started working with Tall Day down in downtown Jersey City not too long ago. For
Nice.
anybody not familiar, they are a very big restaurant down there, very
Yes.
popular. They have been trying to do a Saturday brunch for, they have tried 3 or 4 times before I started working with them. They weren't able to generate enough revenue to actually keep the doors open. And so they sought me out. They said, we want to do a brunch. I said, okay, let's make it happen. And we've been sold out every single week since.
That's
They
what
went
Yeah.
from making $0 to over $5,000 a week just in that brunch time slot.
That's awesome.
And it's something that can be reproduced. It's not rocket science.
right.
So that's what I do.
That's
Direct correlation, right? They can't say it was a sunny day,
right.
and
Oh,
that's
no.
why it
was
started
10
popping.
sunny days in a
No,
row.
exact reports. It
Exactly.
matters.
We got numbers behind it.
Yeah.
And that's
love
what
it.
I love the most about this whole idea of this, you young entrepreneurs especially, is because you are really utilizing all the tools that are available to you now,
Yeah.
not waiting. You know, our generation, I hate to say this, Jeff, but we tend to shy away from the technology,
This is true.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But for me, I've finally realized after having the television show is that the whole idea of that market and what it means has had its time. It has passed. And now if marketing, merchandising, and entrepreneurship is not happening on the internet and online in some way, you're wasting your time, folks. 100%. And the second best part about that, right? We all know this, is it's free.
Yep.
It's free.
Not for long.
Well, that's what we're hoping to keep.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
We'll
That's
use
the,
it while it's here.
that's
Yeah.
the genuineness.
I just don't see it. I won't get into that.
It's already.
I don't
pretty
see
much
it being
paid to
free
play.
forever. Nothing is
Yeah.
free forever, especially something that can literally change your life,
Change-
business.
Oh
Like
no, I know it's not
instant-
going to be free. I'm saying
instantly
use
can
it
change
for
your
all
life.
it
Well,
is.
the cool thing
someone
is that
wants a piece of
it,
that.
it gives the voiceless a voice, right?
100.
And people who might not have the money to really spend a lot of money in the marketing. I love what you guys do because I'm not a big IG person, but the bottom line is you outsource, delegate, and seek out people like you.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't have a presence because you're not good at it. You need
Right.
to find a way to make it happen.
Yes,
That's it.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, let's figure it this way, right? The old newspaper ad, that was the deal, right? Your newspaper ad, boom, you put it out. It was in your area, maybe 2,000, 3,000 people saw it. And it was expensive.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Print
Still is.
ads, right?
Still
Mad
is,
money. And I'm like, screw you. I can make a fucking 30-second video, stick it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, pay to promote it at a fraction of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits at least, I would say, 20 to 50% more people.
Oh yeah, even without it being a paid ad, you're definitely reaching more people because who really goes and picks up a newspaper every day? Has
You're in people's
anybody here
phones.
done that within the past 3 years?
I
5
kick it
years?
off of my neighbor's front
You know.
step.
No.
Yeah.
And what's the
You're in
lifespan?
people's
24 hours,
pockets.
right? Something
Yeah.
you post, it has a life as long as you, till
Infinite.
you delete it,
Yeah.
right?
Infinite.
Do you guys
Yeah.
ever wonder, like, I put all that shit and I'm like, these are the memories of my whole life. Do you ever think, like, what if it all just disappeared and, like, you can do nothing about it? Like, all my Instagram pictures, everything on my Google Drive, what if it
You'd
all just
live.
went away?
You'd live.
But, like,
Recreate.
we never know. That might just happen sometime.
It might.
No.
It might. You ever have your hard drive crash?
But
you
wait,
never
I
had
have
like
a
your
hard-
MacBook
I have
crash?
a hard drive
Oh, yeah.
broken. All right, bro.
Hard drive.
Different. It's different but the same, you know?
But we already know where that went, back to Germany. So that's all I have to say.
Died with his sexual.
So these two right here. But look, thinking about the idea of what that means for entrepreneurship nowadays, you have to be moving in that direction. Am I lying at any point now? So if you're not taking the social media thing extremely important when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I don't just mean the social media, I mean the internet and the idea of using this or computer or what have you, your literally your smartphone now does everything you want it to do.
Correct.
So if you're not using that in this day and age, would you say, Rob, that you're doing an injustice to the idea, the spirit of the entrepreneurship?
I'm like not a social media guy personally, right? Like,
That's why I asked.
like I don't post this stuff, right? But I completely value what the internet brings to the table. Like you can't have a company and not have a website.
Right.
You can't create something and not put yourself out there in front of everyone. It's just silly. Like,
Right.
Share what you do.
And even for the people who aren't social media people, things like, you know, you watch YouTube and you see an ad, that's still social media advertising. So you still are part of that ecosystem, even if you're not directly contributing to it on, you know, Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, I'll take a
the
nap
consumer.
and I'll take a nap for like an hour. I'll wake up and this dude will have read 10 articles about everything. And I'm
good.
like, shit,
But everything.
I'm
I
not taking a
read-
nap every
He didn't
day
have
of
to
my
buy
life.
magazines to
I
get
read
those articles.
on
He didn't
there.
have to leave his house and go to the newsstand. It's all in his phone.
Access to
Right.
information.
It's information and knowledge that you don't really have to do much to get.
You just got to weed it out to figure out what is actually legit and what is bullshit.
Yeah. Now that's the hard part because there's a lot of fake news. There's a lot of things that
Tremendous.
aren't credible.
Yeah.
Fake news.
I mean, the internet is fake. You can see a meme that someone made and people are taking it as fact.
I can post a pile of lies and the title could be "This is the truth."
But that's where the real world kicks in, right? Because that is the veil of like fakeness on the internet, right? Because if they say something about you on the internet that's just conversation on the internet and it isn't backed up in real life, it doesn't last long. It dies. And the next wave of things comes in to replace it.
Unless they're really bad, then it never dies.
Yeah.
So that brings me to another interesting, right? Because I know Rob doesn't really use the whole social media thing, but your entire business is based on both of you. Your entire business is based on the internet and an app.
Yeah, but
Pretty
it
much.
really
I mean,
ties
yeah,
back
yeah.
to in-person stuff. So it all is
But wait,
on the internet.
but
Let's tech in the name.
let's hear how the how do they say the conversion? So what does it convert to? So in other words, your business starts online.
Yeah.
But the end result is an actual physical social meetup.
Sure.
Exactly.
Because explain to them what it is.
So it's a tech meetup where every month we have a free event that we bring together a bunch of people, not only in Jersey City but in Hoboken or in the whole. We're very open minded to anyone who wants to come out. We cover different topics in tech every month and bring out really cool local
Ben,
speakers.
talking to the mic.
Mhm.
You don't have to hold it. It's not it's not your penis.
Are you positive?
And if you're only holding it with one hand, you gotta do it too.
You got a beer in the other hand. You know what I'm saying? All right.
right.
Well, all right. You guys get the point, or maybe you didn't because I didn't speak into the mic. But my
Yes.
point is, this is a monthly free tech meetup, beer, fun, friendship, community, and glory. You want to be in or you want to be out? So
That was really
That was
good.
good. That's a good sell.
The second half was all right.
I like it.
I had to come
He picked it up. He
All right.
picked it up.
So yeah, and then we use social media to get people to know who we are, and we bring them into a real life event on a monthly basis to actually show them who we truly are, which usually wins them over because they learn that me and Joe and the whole community are just really open, awesome, like-minded people who accept everyone and want to hear your ideas. So that's something everyone should be part of, and we are open to having everyone.
So Joe, tell everybody how it started.
So it started. So Ben and I actually took over the Jersey City Tech Meetup. I met Ben on the day that he was announced from the previous organizer, Dan. He was like, I went. It was at
Lutz.
It was at Lutz Beer Garden. And Dan announced that he was leaving. He was moving down south or something. And he was handing the reins over to Ben. And we randomly
Nice.
ended up meeting outside. And
Well, I
just
was
reached
walking the
out
dog.
and-
I just
yeah.
needed a breath of fresh air, and I just met him while I was walking the dog.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was September was the first one that we did together, I think.
Last
August
year.
or September.
So it was August.
Yeah.
It was August that this one happened. No,
Yeah.
I think it was actually
2018. So it was
July.
almost
last
2018.
July. We've
So you
almost
guys
been-
haven't even
almost
been
like
it's almost
doing
been
it a year.
No, it's not a year yet.
And it's still successful.
And since then, it has become more successful than
Yes.
it was.
Yeah.
We are driving more people on a consistent basis. We regularly get over 100 RSVPs.
Yep.
And we
do
had
get
a really
large
big event,
percentage of
Green
people.
Rush. We had a really big event that actually like became a
Yeah.
thing that can make this a legitimate
That's awesome.
business.
Can I ask what the first one you guys together did
Yeah, it
was?
health and wellness.
Yeah.
It was Zen Out. We
And it
had-
was what
Zen Out.
month last
it
year?
was September. September. That was the first one that we just ran without
Okay,
any
yo.
backup, and it was just health and wealth. I wanted to get.
I'm learning.
Yeah, man.
Because I came in November. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were fresh. Dude.
You
We're brand
messaged
new.
us. I remember.
Yeah. I
was
didn't
the one
know that
sitting there
though. I
chit-chatting
didn't know
with
that
you
it
on
was that
Instagram.
new. I knew you guys took it over,
Yeah.
but I did
It
not
was
know that you were
seamless
just
because
getting
It
started.
was meant to be, man. We were meant
Just
to do
worked
this.
out.
thing.
Props
Yeah.
to them
That's
because
what's
they run it like they've been running it.
But it's
Yeah.
not easy. Ben and I really see eye to eye on a lot of things, which
Yeah.
makes it very nice and smooth.
It's meant to be that way.
And you know, like I met Ben. I saw him outside walking a dog, and I came up to him like, "Yo, you know, if you ever need any help with this, like I do marketing for a living. This is
Yeah.
what my company does. I have a team. Like we can help." And
So
you know,
what's
I
the-
just reached out. I wasn't expecting.
So what's the
anything else
vision, guys? I mean, I think this is awesome. You
Yeah.
know, what's the vision, Joe?
So the vision that Ben and I share, we are looking to expand out into doing more paid events. So we want to do like 3 or 4 bigger events. We did start out with the Green Rush
Cannabis event, which
the Green
I'm
Rush
very
cannabis
passionate
event.
about personally.
Yes.
Which is
No way.
which is something right up
pushed for
Jeff's
the
alley, man.
cannabis.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
that idea.
And
I think that's great.
you know what? Ben can speak a little bit about how many people showed up and the crazy process that we had getting that together.
There's a lot of we talked.
Well, there was a lot of high people, so let's just get that right.
they weren't high yet when they got there. They got high about halfway through.
Halfway through.
Halfway through.
High.
Just what?
Disclaimer:
That's
nobody
very
was doing anything.
420, you know.
Very 420 thinking of us.
You know what I'm saying?
But the point is that we had a bigger event that people actually was proven that like people were willing to spend money to like be a part of like a kind of bigger thing that's more legit and like actually has more like well-known speakers that are actually willing to be part of something. I mean,
Not just what's his name from around the dumpster who smokes pot.
yeah,
He's a great
But
speaker.
he's
though.
welcome too.
Potty McSmoker is
Potty mix.
no. I got to also say every speaker we've ever had has
Yeah.
actually been awesome. They've always been like willing to. You included.
Yeah.
I don't. No
Yeah.
one knows this in the podcast, but Keith and Shannon were on the podcast.
On a
podcast-
panel.
On the panel.
That's how we met.
Nice.
About
Yeah.
podcasting.
About podcasting because I just meet
Ironic.
people in the world
Universe.
and then
Yes.
you're just meant to
Yes.
work with people and it happens. So the bigger picture is just to grow this and do something that's bigger than just a monthly event. It's actually like a community and
Yeah.
something that we're really gonna have as a long term.
I love the whole meetup thing that you guys did. First of all, it really gave this connection to the internet at that point, right? Because like you said, the whole idea is that this basically originated as an app or online on the internet, but it creates a physical result.
Yeah.
So in other words, everything we're doing now is virtual,
Mhm.
really. And then what you guys do is say, hey, we can incorporate the both of these
Yeah.
things. So let's make it a virtual start and let's finish it together, which I really like. What I really also like about the whole thing that you guys do is that it's an open platform for other people. Meetup is an open platform for other people to do meetups.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to have one about cannabis,
100%.
if you wanted to have one about Yankee baseball,
Nah,
well, just hypothetically speaking,
I just do one about cannabis.
right, well, we all would like to do one,
Right.
but we will do one.
Let's do it.
That's do
Yeah, let's-
strictly because we have what's his name that was on the panel as well that has the cannabis business.
Ooh,
I don't know, sports coach.
Brian.
That's what I called him.
Brian Weber.
Oh, Brian Webber.
oh yeah.
He came with the
Yeah.
sports
Oh,
coach.
yeah, definitely.
So
So
I
we
call
can
him
smoke out the whole
This
podcast.
whole
Sports
podcast
coach.
is Canna Tech.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I like to
He'd
call
be
it.
great,
I like
obviously.
cannabis.
And this would be a great segue to Mr. Jeff Broom. So Jeff and I go way, way back. Like, holy shit.
2 ways.
Pro Kids.
Yeah.
Pro Kids
Pro Kids.
day back. Like, that's how long we know each other. We grew up in the projects in Brooklyn together. And Jeff and I have been on this road of entrepreneurship, I think basically our entire lives. We've taken turns here and there, but we
Sure.
always kind of meet back up some way,
Absolutely.
somehow. And now Jeff is now indulging in the cannabis or CBD business. What I love the most about Mr. Jeff Broom is he, and I talk about this a lot about Bruce Lee, he is water. There is nothing that this man does not flow himself into.
Be water.
Be water. So
it.
every time I speak to Jeff, he's like, no, I'm doing that now too. And I'm like, motherfucker. This guy wiggles
That's
his
ahead of
way
the curve.
into everything. And that to me is true entrepreneurship, taking life by the reins and driving that motherfucker as fast as you can go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nah, it's been a fun ride. And number one, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
You were on our radio show. We
Yes.
did for 2 years.
Yes.
Me and my team on point for
Yeah.
a while. So thank you for that. And even for you guys might not know Shannon as well, but he's from where we came from in the inner city, you've always been an inspiration, right? To see somebody you grew up with from the inner city and now they're like on TV every single week and like, yo, you guys see Shannon? Like, hey, you see Rich? So it's all about.
You remember them
blessing,
from the
Trev.
project,
You remember
right?
the projects, right?
They lived
From the
on No Strip. Yeah.
Shout out to Brooklyn. But
Word up.
like I said, entrepreneur is a disease, right? And
Yeah.
for people who want more, I had a corporate job. I worked for Verizon for 14 years.
Yeah,
I
wow.
made
I remember.
awesome salary, awesome lifestyle. I have a PhD, public high school diploma.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I do too.
Absolutely.
What?
Right. So
She said, "Let's go."
you know what I mean? But
What high school did you guys go to in Brooklyn?
She said that.
You guys both went. Okay.
yeah,
And Shellback.
local dudes, man. Yeah. Life was good. You live right across the street from the school, man.
Word up.
You guys didn't have no Instagram in that high school.
Nah, son, we didn't want
No.
What? Insta what? Yo, everything happened at lunchtime and at 3:00.
That's
No,
it.
2:40.
No phones.
No
cameras.
phones. Yo, the first sign of internet was a beeper. Dudes. No, it was the Commodore
my
64.
dad had
Commodore
one of those.
64. I
Commodore
remember
64.
floppy
Commodore
disks and all
64.
that
Yep.
stuff.
Bringing it back.
Word
Yo, I
up.
played video games on floppy
Come on,
disks. All right,
man.
you ain't that old.
2600,
Nah.
Atari 2600, man.
Word up.
Get the cartridges.
I
Word
played
up.
James Pond.
from Clearview.
But the idea is that where the background that Jeff and I came from, of course, they're always labeled. You live in the hood, you live in the ghetto, you're labeled. That's the way it is.
Mhm.
And then try being a white boy with blonde hair and blue eyes and growing up in the neighborhood. That was a little tough too.
Pretty boy.
But the idea is that we both, Jeff and I both knew, and you could see it. There's a difference in people when you're friends with somebody and your dude's from the neighborhood. You say that motherfucker, 25 years, I come back, that motherfucker be right there. He ain't going nowhere.
On the same bench.
Right. Doing the same shit. But you always know, you have your friends and and you can spot them and they take a different path. It's kind of like Jeff and I, that's what I said, Jeff and I have been lifetime friends and we always seem to flow like water back. At some point, we touch base back with each other at any given time. And it's always, believe it or not, based on some business or something that we connect with.
It's a disease. I mean, you respect people. I mean, 9 to 5 is great. I had one.
Yeah.
But when people in business, it's a different hustle. It's a struggle, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's some real National Geographic shit. You know what I'm saying? We fucking hunt
Yeah.
and we kill,
Yeah.
and you have to separate the people that know how to hunt and kill and the people that need somebody to kill something for them. And then you come eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So this is what we do. So there's a brotherhood that goes along with that. So, what are we killing today? Because we have to monetize this shit at
Without
the
a
end of the
doubt.
day. And that's really what it comes down to. So we're hunters and that's where we go.
And that's a really good analogy to have about entrepreneurship, right? I mean, it is the hunt, right? Because how many people literally are out there doing the same things that we are? Lots of them. And there are some successful people and there are some people who, you learn that lesson from. I'm not going to be that dumb motherfucker and do that dumb shit.
There it is.
But you learn from the people that have come before you and you set out that path and you become a hunter because it's about the hustle. It certainly is. 100%.
That's it.
100%.
Love it.
Me too. So Keith, tell us all about this, the Yankee thing, the model thing we already know. You're a handsome dude. That's the way it is.
I mean, that shit's late though. I'm 31 to sign a modeling contract. I mean, it's cool.
Listen, George Foreman won the title back at 40 some odd years old. That's all
Literally,
I
the
gotta
age
say.
thing doesn't mean shit. It takes you to
Nowadays.
get older to realize that like the number that is on you is independent from you. It's like a gauge for everyone else to say, how old are you? What year you were born?
Right.
But like in 31 years, there's a lot of people that didn't do half the shit that I did. And then there's also some people that did twice as much shit. It's different for everybody. But so the Yankees, right? I've always been a Yankee fan. I'm from Jersey Shore area. I feel like growing up, everybody rooted for the Yankees.
Yes.
The Yankees won everything.
Yes.
So as a kid looking at TV before we had these phones, before the computers were doing everything was on Fox.
Yeah.
We're watching the Yankees win. And it's just like, I don't know how anybody grew up and wasn't a Yankee fan and a fanatic.
Yes.
The core four, Jeter, Mariano, Petty. Like, you got to know these guys. Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams, like those, Paul O'Neill, David Cohn, like those were superheroes. I thought.
Jeff, I'm gonna hit Thurman Munson,
Thurman
Ron.
Munson.
See, now that goes back.
Reggie Jackson, Jimmy Williams, Corey Brooklyn.
So I was.
Lewis Garnett.
I'm in the 90s, man. I'm in the 90s. I grew up in the 90s.
I
feel like the Yankees are part of 90s pop culture.
Listen, to me, the Yankees have been part of pop culture since we since we started taking back championships like a fucking ruthless cowboy.
Yeah.
So when Steinbrenner took over that organization, it changed
In the 70s,
everything.
they went
Changed
back,
everything.
back to back 77,
Yes.
78, and then it started to run from there. And Yankee Classic, you can literally turn on the Yes Network right now and learn about the years of championship culture and winning and these heroes. It's like folklore, but it's real. It actually happened. So for me, man, I grew up in a town where everyone played sports, everyone watched sports. I was a better football player, but that's because I just was a better football player, but I still love baseball, right? Fast forward some years, Yankees win when I'm in high school, Yankees win when I'm in college, 2009, 10 years ago, the Yankees won. I used to always wear just a blue Yankee hat and a white tee every day. My girl is in here. She'll tell you, I used to show up to parties to see if anyone would notice that I'm like a fucking cartoon character. I'm wearing a blue Yankee hat and a white tee every Friday, Saturday, every party. I look the same. So it was just like a part of what I did. And then we won it. I just kept doing my thing out here in the world. And I got picked to be in the MLB fan cave.
See?
So in the MLB fan cave, right, in 2014, it's like, MLB Real World. 8 fans from across the country are picked to watch the whole Major League Baseball season in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to represent the New York Yankees, kid from Jersey. And I always tell people this. I'm like, I'm a big Yankee fan, but what I know got me into the fan cave, I know this audio stuff a little bit. I was a DJ. So
segue. And here's that idea, right? So the segue for all of us as entrepreneurs is always in the interim of doing something else, right? So look, he's a DJ and he goes over there because he knows a little bit about audio, and then all of a sudden,
Opportunity.
Yep. You see what I'm saying? Luck.
Stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
That's it.
Know a bunch of things, learn a bunch of things, right? I said I went to school for radio and television. I thought I was going to go into the corporate world of New York and be a like radio personality and like cut records. The technology and shit shifted, it changed, whatever. They needed people that knew social media, which I had a little buzz from my DJing on social media. They wanted to get younger kids to watch Major League Baseball in 2014.
Right.
So they brought together 8 kids that were like pretty popping on social media, but had different talents. My talent was the DJing, and I knew the social media thing. Boom, I get to represent the New York Yankees for Derek Jeter's final season. It still gives me chills to think about. It's like out of all the years, Jeter's last season I watched right there. And that kind of put me like on the trail that I'm on now, but it kind of like, I don't even know how to put it into words. It kind of like shot me into this, right? So 5 years later to be doing a Yankees podcast, like I said, I'm a radio guy. I'm a DJ guy. I didn't want to jump into the water where everybody was swimming.
Right.
But shout out to my co-host JJ. He was on Barstool, brought a lot of people from there. And then Bronx Pinstripes, who I actually reached out to in the fan cave as a fan, right? Say, hey guys, come watch a game in the fan cave. I just want to extend, this blessing to you guys. So like, I read your articles. I'm a big Yankee fan. They sent 5 writers in. And from then I got out of the fan cave and I kept working with them, doing like man on the street stuff outside Yankee Stadium.
What does the
fan cave
look like?
It doesn't exist anymore. And that's even more of the thing, right? You can't go to it anymore. Yeah. We were the last class. Yeah. So the old Tower Records in New York City.
Yeah, that's big shout out to Tower Records, right?
Listen, 3rd Street, right?
Did you
like
you DJ your brother? You and your brother DJ? No.
Yeah, we promote a lot of parties.
Promoting parties that I know you guys did.
Yeah. My brother was the DJ.
Yeah, but here's something I really enjoy about the whole thing with you and the line. And when I talk about entrepreneurship, you took something that you loved, you had a passion for, and turned it into a business.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what the underlying message here, when we talk about entrepreneurs and people get into business, it's always that one thing that fires us, right, Joe? It's like the one thing that fires us up and you're like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do this all the time. So taking that idea of something you love and turning it into a business and being successful at it, that's what an entrepreneur does.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
And it's a different game every day. It's chess one day, it's checkers the next, it's Jenga, it's Connect 4. But you got to walk into each one of those games like, I'm supposed to be here. I can play this game and I can figure it out and I'm prepared, right? Every day, week, month of your life prepares you for the opportunity. We talk about luck. There ain't no luck out here.
No.
Nobody is that lucky. It's preparation meeting opportunity. And then like some people are cut out for it, some people aren't. The cream's gonna rise to the like it literally is that. So like
100%.
when you're an entrepreneur, right? Well, like he said, he's like, I need somebody to kill for me or set it up for me. You can go to your job that's already set up and build someone else's dream.
Right.
You can go there where it's already set up that you need to complete X, Y, and Z tasks between 9 to 5 every single day.
Yes.
That's cool because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna give you a check on the 1st and the 15th for your work.
Yep.
And it's gonna stay that.
And that's it.
And you can get a raise, you can get a merit increase. You can talk to your boss and say, I deserve this and this. No, until you start getting out here and figuring out that each level of Super Mario is you versus the world. And then you find people that you can connect with and work with that are also playing that game. That's when you start hitting it. And
I don't know if I would use Super Mario as an example.
Well, I grew up playing like Super Mario where it's like, yo, you clear levels. And every time you clear a level,
the analogy is there.
Yeah.
Yes. I was just
But Shannon, you said something. I'm sure you guys can all agree. I mean, passion and entrepreneurism, they're important.
Very.
Right? Because to be successful entrepreneur, it's about waking up and doing things at 1 a.m, 2 a.m that you won't do for your job, waking up early, driving places where you're really not sure what's about to take place, promoting an event. You hope people show up. Hope shit. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be entrepreneur. You got to be passionate about it because you're going to fail.
Yes.
That's part of the process.
How many times is
over and over again?
It's inevitable. You don't know. That's a countless process.
69 times.
Look at baseball. Baseball players fail 7 out of 10 times and go to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
You got to bat 300 to be in the Hall of Fame. You're going to fail. It's going to suck. You're going to lose. But then you learn how to wear those L's.
Yep.
And then you learn how to take those lumps.
That's it.
You guys grew up in Brooklyn fighting, right? Was it about how like going undefeated on the streets? How many? No, somebody's going to whoop your ass.
It's about getting up to the fight. That's the deal.
Exactly. You're going to throw down. You're going to stand your ground on your own 2 feet and say, yo, I could toss with the greatest of them.
Yep.
I might lose this one, but I'm going to win again.
Yep.
Very few people go undefeated, right?
No one goes Father Time. Father Time is the only one.
I played a little ball, right? And people say if you don't get dunked on, you playing with the wrong people.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Someone's balls aren't slapping her head.
I tell people all the time. I tell people all the time.
You're playing, Mr. Ben.
The right God.
I tell people all the time, like, look, obviously being an entrepreneur, it's really just failing over and over again.
100.
But, like I tell people, like, I failed more times than most people will ever try. I would rather keep trying and just keep trying to pursue my dream and keep going for it. And don't get me wrong, not everybody is cut out for that life. And doing the whole 9 to 5 thing, there is nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to knock that.
Not at all.
But not everybody's cut out for that.
Job.
Not everybody's cut out for it. You know,
now.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a decent way to make a living. Like, so in other words, you can choose how you do that, right? So you could go and get a job that's a 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you decide to do, and you'll be okay and you'll survive.
Yeah.
But do you really want to be under somebody all your life? Like, that's the thing with me. I just don't feel that in this day and age, especially now with the advancement and the technology and the amount of things that you can do and we have access to, that you wouldn't try to be successful on your own at some point. At some point, try something that says to you, all right, I can go to work every day and make a salary and be treated like shit and talk to like shit and have to have a fucking schedule like a crazy person all the time. I got to make the meeting. I got to make this. I got to do that. I got to run around. And your boss is at home going 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stacks, 4 stack. It's like, no, work overtime if you need to. That's all right. Don't you work 4 to 5. Or you can make that same amount of money. If you try hard enough, you can make more. But everybody here has the ability to do that. You all have the ability to go out there and try your hand at something to at least just make a living.
Well, I think that, when it comes down to it, I think you can either make a living or try to create a lifestyle, right? And I think that when you have a job, sometimes that could be a little difficult because you get 2 weeks of vacation.
Yes.
Right? So it's kind of hard to create a lifestyle. So, you wind up making a living. But I think that most of us, I think there's always a turning point, right? We're all frustrated on our job when the boss tells you no.
Yeah.
And some point in time you say, damn, I don't have to accept that, or I can't accept that.
Right.
It's happened to me when I was on my job. I'm like, you know what? Yo, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, let me get my little rich dad. I got involved in real estate early and bought a bunch of property and stuff like that. Had like 14 houses, read my little rich dad, poor dad thing, went to the seminars, the real estate, and these people, you know, you could do it, no money down. That shit didn't really work, but I figured it out anyway. But the frustration, you come to that point in time in your life where you got to make a determination. You know what I'm saying? And am I willing to put up with this or am I not? And even if not, you're like, well, what kind of lifestyle do I want to have for me and my family? Right. And I think that that's what entrepreneurs really look for. What kind of lifestyle?
And it's not one size fits all for the 9 to 5 or the entrepreneur shit. Like,
No.
your 9 to 5 can be great if you're getting something from it. Like I worked at MTV,
Jeff,
I worked at Fubo TV, I worked at Rock Nation. I worked in the States really, but like, you know what I got out of going those jobs? And I used to commute heavy. I used to take the bus from Red Bank exit 109 to New York every single day, there and back, commute like 20 hours a week behind MTV. I've been behind Rock Nation. I've been behind Fubo TV, even Major League Baseball, right? I took a lot from that. 4 years I did that. Now I carry that experience with me and can apply that to whoever I meet, whatever I do, whatever I'm doing. So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I worked at a restaurant. Now, like working at a restaurant, I only did that for 2 months, but I knew I can't really take what I'm learning through these 10-hour shifts at this restaurant and apply that to what I'm doing. Like that's not.
But you get the lesson of hard work. That's all I got to say about.
Oh
that.
yeah, no,
it's always,
don't get me wrong.
Something's always.
It humbled me. It humbled the shit out of me to like be in a restaurant and realize, like, yo, your shit doesn't matter, man. Run this food.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
True fact. You know, I say that a lot to people. I'm like, hey, you think shit's bad?
Yeah.
Go work in the
Take my food.
Go work in the kitchen.
yeah,
Just do a couple of shifts. You'll be all right. Don't you worry about it.
dudes are at each other's necks.
Yo, 600. Listen to me. You're in a place where there's 600-degree ovens and griddles and grills going flames, and your body sweating. Your hormone levels are out of control, and all of a sudden somebody's like, I don't like that. You're like, the fucking chef knife comes out. You're like, you tell me what you don't like.
You just
I got you.
sous vide them.
Yeah, that's it. You should have sous vide them.
Sous vide
So
them.
Ben's hooked on this sous vide thing because
you
Ben
get
got a
sous
couple of
vide.
sous vide.
Yeah,
he
you
got
wanna
a sous
see
vide
both
machine. So now he's Chef Boy Adi.
I'm like an entrepreneur for cooking.
Yeah, well,
I would say I'm one of the best.
close, but no.
Nah.
Yeah.
But you know what's important? Like
What do
you
you think,
talk
Rob?
about it, you can't never knock a 9 to 5 job because you have
No.
to fund your dreams.
Of course, and that's what
Right.
that's what I do every
That's
day.
what we do. I worked at
Every single day.
Verizon. I was getting a check every 2 weeks. I was making over 100 grand. My credit was
Yep.
crazy. So
Yep.
whatever I wanted to do, it afforded me the opportunity.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
cool thing is that when you do work a 9 to 5 job like you did, and many of us have done,
I still do. No, well, not still. Now I'm
Current.
back at it again. But go ahead.
but the cool thing is
no
that
shame in it.
not at all. Utilize you because you're going to learn a lot of different things. They're going to send you to different classes, different courses, whatever it is. I just say utilize whatever those opportunities are when you are working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So you know what you need to do when you get out on your own. And don't leave your job too early. Don't think because you got
Yeah.
one big check, you can be like, yo, I
Right.
just made $10,000. I'm quitting tomorrow.
Well, that was me. My mistake too. So, you know, just to give everybody a light behind the tunnel here. And I say light behind the tunnel is because I kind of worked in reverse for some strange reason, and I don't know why. But I had a very successful food truck business for a while, and then the TV show hit, and then my ratings were phenomenal. So after going into my third season, you know how it goes. Everybody promises you the world, right?
Sure.
You know, hey, you're a star, and I go, fuck you. I don't need you to tell me. But I got rid of my food truck, because here I was thinking, don't worry, I'm on my way, right? They tell you you're going to be the next big, whomever or
Right.
whatever, and
It's your first time though.
that never happened, right? And I had my show had a good run, almost 5 years on
Yeah.
television.
Yeah.
So it was good. But in retrospect, like you were saying before, I should have made it my business to hold on to the truck just for a little while longer, just
see.
in case. But yes, I applaud, and yes, I'm back to working. But listen, as an entrepreneur, I've had the ability to learn a lot of skills and do a lot of different things. So now I'm back doing construction, but it's a skill I learned. And I learned from people and, so on and so forth. And it gave me the ability to go back to it. And I think that's what the great thing about entrepreneurship is too, is that we will put ourselves out there to learn something new every time.
That's what's up.
Right. And then we have that fallback for the next time. It's like, oh shit, I did that already.
Yeah.
I did this already. I can go back and do that, or I can go back and do that, or I can add on to it and then start another business.
Yeah, one very important thing about being an entrepreneur is having multiple sources of income, because not every source will be fruitful at all times of the year, you know. And going back to what you're saying before, like with all the failures and stuff like that, failing at something doesn't make you a failure.
No.
Not learning from it makes you a failure.
Indeed.
You know, that's it.
Indeed.
True life lesson there, right? If you're getting banged up every single time, at some point you got to go, man, that's a lesson learned. I need to move on.
Yeah, I don't know about getting banged every time, but I
said
said
banged up.
yeah, no, don't worry about that. What I'm just trying to say is that, you know what,
My man Ben.
speaking of what Shad is
Sexual
saying,
to death.
I'm a very sexual man, so you'll understand
Ben is
about
consistent.
me. I'm consistently sexual, so just get that. But what I'm trying to say is that what Shad is saying is always learning, education constantly. I live with
Yes.
Rob. I lived with him for 4 years, my best friend. We are always just chilling out, dropping ideas, and like we drop a lot of crazy ideas. We might be high and drop an insane
Some
idea.
pretty
Mm.
bad
You know,
ones. sometimes.
some bad ones, but you know what?
No, but I bet some
we
good
always
ones
sit
too.
them down.
Yeah,
And you know, a
good
lot of
ones.
people will just be like, yeah, we're just high. We made an idea. Me and him, the difference is that we action shit.
Yeah.
And many people have ideas all the time. I'm not impressed with your idea.
Mm.
Are you doing it? Are you
Right.
trying it? I don't care if you fail. Are you
Ben,
at least
Ben,
trying?
bring the mic. No, look, it has an arm you can move.
All right, arm, come closer to me. Is this
Yeah.
good? Is this
There you
because
go.
now,
Yeah, well, now you're in there.
all of
You
my
have a sexy
wise
voice.
insights have been lost.
You have a
But,
sexy voice.
No, man, that was a great point.
So the point is, keep thinking of ideas, and when you feel like something's gonna work, don't wait 3 days. Action it that day. That's what we usually do. When we make an idea and we're like, this could work, we'll make the website right the fuck there.
And that's
High
great
at
that you
10.
guys are roommates,
That's
because
dope.
you also can't be around people that their conversation is shit.
No. I mean, we have shit conversations sometimes, but
No,
we know
But
how
I'm saying,
bad it
but
can
look,
be.
you guys are getting high, and you're talking about things you could create, and then you're probably bang, bang, bang until you get to a wall where you're like, okay, this isn't a good idea.
and then we usually punch that wall down.
There are a lot of small-minded people in this world that are programmed where they don't think like that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. No, you could never do that. And if
No,
you
we always are
stay
just
in
like,
those
yeah, you could
circles,
do that
right?
shit.
They talked about leaving Brooklyn, and the same people that they can find in Brooklyn, those are people having the same dumb shit conversations. Meanwhile, they're friends for this long because they keep hitting each other with some new,
Yes.
some different.
And
So-
it's inspiring.
Yeah, like
Right.
that,
Yeah,
yesterday
you need
morning, I wake up. I go, "Hey Ben, I thought of this really bad idea. I want to share it with you. It's called pills."
I'm like, do you have them now?
Hear me out. It's pills for pill heads. So it's not the illegal kinds of pills, you know.
Pills for
It's an
pills.
acronym?
It's like vitamin C,
Oh,
and
okay.
magnesium,
Pedialyte.
5-HTP, Pedialyte. You know,
Right.
all
It's a
the stuff
hangover kit.
you eat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see, you
Before and
got the wrong idea right away.
Got
What if I don't like swallowing
That's what you got
pills?
there for,
What if I'm the person?
Shop
Yeah.
elsewhere, my friend.
Shop those.
I chew my pills. I can't swallow
He
them.
chews ibuprofen, bro. It makes me sick. I almost throw up every time.
Dust comes out of my mouth. It's really quite gross.
IB dust, dude. It's nasty. Learn how to swallow pills, bro.
But you know what's interesting is what you learn from this, right? So I always tell people my 3 favorite books, right? Because entrepreneurs, we got to read, right?
Yeah.
We got to stay on
Constantly.
top of different things and stuff.
All
You
the
always
time.
got to be continue to grow, right? So it was the Bible, and then Rich Dad Poor Dad changed my mindset about money,
Mhm.
and then the other book was Think and Grow Rich, right? So in there, he talks about how you create a third brain. Like you can't come up with an idea on your own. You might say something, and then he says something. And then next thing you know, there's a third brain that's created, right?
Yeah.
So right, and that's important, right? Because me and my brother, he knows my brother well,
Yes.
and that's how we vibe. You know what I mean? We could live together and shit. He'd be sitting like, "Yo, what about this? What about that? No, I didn't think about that. Oh shit, we should do that."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it works. So one of the things that when it comes down to because entrepreneurs fail, and a lot of times you listen to shit and people always talk about their fucking wins. And
Yeah.
the wins are great, but the losses to know that they're human and stuff is important, right? You really got to know about the losses. And sometimes you get cocky because you're moving. And one of my downfalls in life was I didn't have sometimes the proper mentors
Mhm.
and the right team.
Yeah.
And that's so important as an entrepreneur because you think that you might be the CEO and the face of stuff. But I had a long conversation, not to get on with my partners. I got a team of guys that are brokers under me. And I'm like, you're winning. You think you're winning. You think you're winning. But, you know, we need to be on some Avenger shit. You know what I'm saying? We fucking trying to take down Thanos.
Yes.
Right.
Batman,
A collective.
Batman can save fucking
Right.
New York, but Batman by himself don't save the city.
The
You
whole
know what I'm
world.
saying?
Right.
So
Thor's got a hammer.
Thor's got a hammer, man. You need Captain America. You got to.
Everybody's got to bring something else to the table, and no one achieves anything alone. I hate when I hear people like, "Yeah, I did this on my own, man. I got it out the mud, man. I went straight to the top on my own back. I put it."
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's impossible.
About that in Tools of Titans, bro.
Yeah.
He wrote the foreword of Tim Ferriss' Tools of Titans.
Yep.
And it's just the title of that is "I'm not a self-made man."
That's it.
No
Nobody
one
is, man.
He's like anyone who says you're a self-made man, you're
Full of shit.
disrespecting all of your mentors and anyone who taught you. You're just completely writing them off and just saying, "I did this shit." But no one just was born, made a sandwich, and did shit. You can't even make it.
If you were that great, you'd be on an island by yourself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why you run into people. That's
You don't
why
have
you
all
meet
the
people that
skill
do
sets.
different things.
You don't have all the
People
skill
help you.
sets. You
You
know what I
can't
mean?
just say I'm a self-made man or
Yeah.
woman because you that shit.
True
Right.
fact. True
Right.
fact.
I know you-
We use that a lot, right, Joe? The idea is that the fact that people like to say, oh, I came up on my own. And I go, listen to me. Yeah, you may have had the struggles of somebody who felt alone, but believe you me, we all know there was somebody out there that goes, you know what? I'm going to give you a shot. That's the
pushed you
bottom
to-
line.
Someone helped you. Someone said one thing that clicked in your head. Someone might have loaned you some money and said, "Don't worry about it."
Yep.
But you forget about that $20 at the time.
Yep.
And sometimes it's just one person believing in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes, it's hard, especially when you're starting out, to really kind of get in that mindset of like, okay, like everybody might be hating on me, but I can actually make this happen.
Yeah.
And 2 books going along. Just do a little swerve here.
Yeah,
But 2 books. When you mentioned the whole book thing, I was like, oh yeah. There's 2 kind of unorthodox ones that I'm gonna kind of throw out here. Nothing too crazy.
Throw 'em out. No, the crazier the better.
Nothing too crazy, but
The crazier the better.
thought wise. So there's one. It's called Crucial Conversations. And you know what? If you have not read this book, do yourself a favor and read this book, because being an entrepreneur is all about having conversations with people that might be uncomfortable, that you have to talk about numbers, that you still need to walk away from this and be friends and actually be able to do things.
Isn't that always the
And
hardest part, Joe? When you start talking
managing
business,
people,
Yeah.
so hard.
money is the hardest thing to get past.
Yeah.
It always is. Whether it's coming in or going out, it's the hardest thing to get past, right? When you start making money, you're like, well, what the fuck do I do with it? And how do I be cool with it?
How do we divvy
Right.
this?
Right. And then the other part is I ain't got enough of it.
And there are always ways of framing that conversation. I know always before I go into any client and I'm asking for more money, because I set them up in advance, that I go in with proper documentation showing we're worth way more than you're paying us.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
That's awesome.
it really is a black and white thing. And cool, you don't want to pay more? Okay, we're just going to lower down your service. And that's kind of it. So you can, it is what it is. But one other book that is kind of unorthodox is, it's called What Every Body Is Saying, and it's how to read body language. Because a lot of times when you're dealing with a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, they won't come directly out and tell you exactly what they're thinking. But their body language will always give it away.
Yeah.
And learning how to read that and to understand when you're negotiating with somebody and how to read what they're saying. Are they leaning back? Are they leaning forward?
Correct.
Are they doing this with their eyes? How are they talking? What's the intonation in their voice? And all of these things, it could help you adjust your messaging so you can deliver it in a way that's more comfortable to them and make them more amenable to what you want
That's
them
a
to
super useful book, but knowing that book exists makes me so self-conscious of how I am, because I might just be talking to someone like in a legit way, and I'm just high, and I'm just like, I don't know, my left eye's twitching. I'm just talking to you.
And they should be able to read that.
They're
though.
reading
They
me,
should
like,
be
don't
able to
judge me.
read
Listen to
that.
the content out of my face.
And
Listen to the
it's
words.
It's not
not
judging
my
somebody.
eye.
It's just being aware of what's going
I
on.
know, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna read the book and then think about
We
myself
talk-
too much.
We talked about, he just touched on something that's very fascinating to me. And Jeff and I have a very good friend that we grew up with, Tanya Ryman,
Okay.
we went to high school with.
Yep.
And she's actually a professional body language reader. And that's what she does. She's been on the news. I couldn't even tell you at time. She has a couple of books out too. Big shout out to Tanya Ryman. And we're going to have her on.
Awesome.
And I think you should be part of that
I would
one as
love it.
well. And this is
I'll be
what she
like,
does.
I can't move.
Listen to me.
no body language.
This is what she does. So Tanya Ryman, she has a couple of books, and when she comes on, she'll bring the books and tell everybody about who they are. But she reads. She does a lot of political stuff. So she reads people's, when they do debates,
Yeah.
the president, when people on press conferences, she reads the body language. And then like, I don't know which news station, but like CNN and all these big news stations, she's been on these programs forever. And she's a good friend of ours. We grew up in the same high school, the whole thing. And that's what she does for a living. But it's funny when we talk about the body language thing, is how much it plays a big part in being an entrepreneur, right?
Huge.
Because we do it in both ways as an entrepreneur. We do it as our presence, that we want people to see us as a certain way or a certain demeanor. And then we read people when we go into these meetings or these meet and greets or these ideas of when we get around people, right? As an entrepreneur, aren't we always doing that? We're reading their body language.
You have to.
Well, they say what 17% of communication is actually what you say. The
Yeah.
other 83% is all in the body language, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that you talked about, not only that, a lot of, if you're an entrepreneur, you got to understand sales.
Yeah.
Because you're selling.
Yep.
Somebody's always buying, somebody's always selling. As an entrepreneur, you got to really work on your sales skills. So knowing what people are saying, the pitch, the tone, the speed, you know when you're going to close or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when to stop talking.
Oh, yeah.
That's
really
the key
important.
point. When to stop talking. Because sometimes, I see entrepreneurs, I'm like, oh, damn, they made that sale. Then they just keep going. I'm like,
They're like,
yo,
oh, you
stop
lost.
I'm like,
out
yo,
of it.
stop
Talk
talking
talking.
out of it.
Shut up, shut up, shut up.
A pause is powerful. When
Pull
you
the
say you
plug,
pause,
run
you like
away.
silence.
Yeah.
This episode could be called The Powerful Pause.
Yeah, we do that, right? When you go into a meeting though with a partner or somebody else, and you're like, and then they start talking, and you're like, oh fuck, I hope the Jedi mind trick works real quick. And all you keep saying is, shut the fuck up.
Oh, I've had that many times where I think of how strong is my brain. Can I tell someone to shut the fuck up with my eyeballs? I'm just like,
my eyeballs.
That you know them and they know you.
Definitely.
yeah,
You should be able to send that message like,
we
yo,
have the universal shut the fuck up eye language. We know what we're going to do. Like, dude,
Like these are not the robots you're looking for.
you're going to need that fucking. Let's just.
I'll just be the guy just like knock the beer off the table. Like, yo, distraction, stop everything.
Oh my god, fire alarm! Everyone get the hell out of here! This is an emergency. Two people don't know how to iPhone.
Very sexual.
There goes Ben. Man. Sexuality.
On brand. On brand. Never
Making
off
Keith
brand.
very uncomfortable over here.
They call me Benjamin Sexual.
It's just gonna keep coming back around. That's gonna keep coming back around.
That's my new name, Benjamin Sexual. Call me that only from now on. Benjamin Sexual is me.
You are now, you could have been in the Super Bad movie. You know, had McLovin, you have Benjamin Sexual.
If I read your ID and it said Benjamin Mc,
Sexual.
get out.
One word. Yo, you can't
out
kick
of
me
here.
out of here. I'm Benjamin Sexual. Let me in. I got my homies coming through.
I heard of the natural.
That's a dope name, though.
We got the sexual, not the natural, the sexual.
Mr. Sexual, the police are on their way. Tell them to go home. You're busy tonight.
Where does this guy come up with this sexual stuff? It's so consistent.
It's within, you know. It's very within.
very natural. And that's how you die with your sexual. It's never gonna leave you. It's never
I
gonna leave
die within my sexual.
That's great.
That's the name of Ben's book.
I
Yeah.
die with my sexual.
Without a doubt. I fucking love that.
That's a bestseller.
That's
Kicked
the
in when
best
he was 11.
This is like where Austin Powers got the whole storyline and just followed you around and a little baby for a couple months.
How old were you when Austin Powers came out? Old enough to be sexual.
Old enough to be very sexual. I looked at it like, you know what? I think I learned something here today.
Yeah.
And every lesson is a good learned lesson.
A very sexual
Love
lesson.
that shit. That is absolutely amazing. And this is exactly how this is supposed to go, everybody. We know that, right? This is the Everything and Nothing podcast. So we all like to think that we have these grand ideas of what we think about certain topics. You know, entrepreneurship is one of them. And everybody sitting at this table has a great entrepreneurial spirit. And that always brings me back to the biggest part of being an entrepreneur, and that's the spirit of an entrepreneur. You know, you can assess money and wealth and you know, whatever it else, you know, properties, and I don't care what it is, planes, trains, and automobiles. But if your spirit is not based on the entrepreneurship, if you are just out there to be a cold hard earner and be an entrepreneur, they don't work together. They just don't. Entrepreneurs become who they are because of their spirit, because they truly love the idea of being an entrepreneur. And hopefully everybody here at this table, me including, and I love the part of that, is that we will get that ability. And hence why the podcast is happening today, is because I want everybody to know out there is that we all have that ability to be entrepreneurs. We all have that ability to have that spirit to be an entrepreneur and chase the dreams and chase our passions. And that's the reason why you gentlemen are here today. And I just want to do one more go around here. And I want everybody here to tell everybody out there who they are. And if you have a way, what's your social media? How can they contact you? If somebody wanted to ask you a question or they wanted to share an idea with you. Rob, take it away.
Oh, that's if you want to share an idea, gmail.com, because I won't answer you any other way.
I'm his best friend. He doesn't answer me on Instagram.
Do you have any social media?
I do. I just don't go on it. So I have Instagram. It's Rob_Gallos, Gallos.
Okay.
I have Facebook. My name is still Rob Gallos. And actually, still there. He was born with sexual. I was born with Gallos.
Absolutely digging it. Digging it.
And then you can find me on Twitter because it's the only one I actually use daily because Elon Musk is stupid. But I love him.
Entertainment.
He's a genius.
Yes.
He is a
but
genius.
Stupid on Twitter, so I love following him.
Yeah.
I think I'm still Rob Gallos there, but I might be named something else. So
And here's a question for you. Who inspires you?
oh man, that's a great question. So all sorts of different things inspire me. I guess like just a little bit on my background on the spirit of entrepreneurship. I was just always a kid that wanted to sell stuff. So I would go into the back creek, grab a bucket of rocks, go to the neighbors, be like, "Would you like to buy a rock?" and
That's my rock.
I just remember the neighbors opening the doors. This little cute, adorable kid, blonde hair, brown eyes. And they would give me a buck.
Really?
I'd be like, "Hey, I'll
They
take
actually
the rock."
want it.
That's how it starts.
You can't say no.
Nice
So
neighborhood.
then I started
Oh,
breeding
goodness,
mice,
nice.
selling the mice to people.
Oh, wow.
From rocks to mice.
Yeah,
Rocks to Mice, the memoir.
from rocks to mice to fish
great.
to like
Uh-oh.
The stocks on Wall
stocks
Street.
on Wall
There
Street.
you go.
That's what's up.
There you go.
So
Top level.
you're
It's
a
been a
natural
journey.
salesman. Man, I love that. I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You could sell ice to Eskimos. That's a wonderful thing. If you have that,
It's a gift.
that, entrepreneur spirit, that's where it's at. You have to have that. As an entrepreneur, you have to be able to sell yourself. Keep that every single day. You have to be able to sell yourself as an entrepreneur. So having that sales idea of like putting it in your genealogy at that point, you know what I mean? You're like, hey, shit, I found rocks. They didn't cost me nothing. I got to make something out of it.
And there was really no reason for it. I just woke up and that's what I wanted to do that day.
That's it. That's the great.
The
spirit of
reason
being an
for it was
entrepreneur.
it was starting you somewhere.
Yeah.
You were getting the experience of even the no's, right? Even the people that are like, get off my porch with these rocks, kid. You were taking that in. You were
They-
taking that in.
Take it in,
They
change
said
your
that.
messaging.
Right. And then your
Yeah.
presentation the next time is, hold on, I put a black Sharpie mark on this rock.
It's a special rock.
This rock is different.
No, that's how I say.
Exactly. You've
That's
never
how
seen
I
a rock
sold
like this
them.
before.
That's what I would say.
Exactly.
You can't get this rock anywhere.
Anywhere.
else. I
Which
didn't
is
just
true.
find it in your backyard.
It was in my backyard. All right, so Mr. Broom, tell everybody who you are. How can they reach you if they want to be involved? So I'm very curious now because the whole CBD thing and the idea of cannabis, the legalization, and what's going on with that. Tell everybody what and how they can find you and what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, so I can be found. My website for my company is thebusinesskings.com. They can hit me at jeff@thebusinesskings.com. Basically, what we do is we fund small and medium-sized businesses. So we're very passionate about that, right? That's the lifeblood of our country. So every business needs access to money, right? At some point in time, even if when you do, I don't care, Apple, Google, everybody's expanding, right?
Yes.
So, and then, we got involved. So the mindset is that, we're living through a renaissance period where anytime something goes from illegal to legal,
Yes.
somebody makes a goddamn ton of money,
Ton of money.
right? Whether it was prohibition,
Yes.
whether it's alcohol, whether it's gambling, whether it's prostitution, whatever it is, we just happen to be, for whatever reason, alive during a time period where probably the number one most consumed I wouldn't call it drug, but whatever
Right.
it might be,
Mhm.
right, is about to become legal.
Yep.
So me and my partners, obviously, you know,
Plan.
being an entrepreneur.
It's a plan.
Well, you're thinking 3, 4, 5 years
Agriculture.
ahead.
Got
right?
to.
You have to.
Never was a passion of mine to get involved with it, but it's opportunity.
Opportunity.
And if you're a business person, then you understand what it's all about. So, you know, we're doing our first grow in Long Island. We're going to be doing some things in Jersey, putting together a fund. Maybe we can talk about that. But we're going to find farmers and people looking for land and want to repurpose the land, and they want to grow cannabis, hemp, right? Because there's other uses of it, not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
not just
A
for
lot.
what you smoke, right?
Right.
For insulation, for
Yes.
concrete, for
Mhm.
clothes, rope, you know.
It's a
Isn't that
natural,
funny? I know
a
that.
natural
Body
alternative
lotion.
to a lot
Hemp
of
Heavily,
rope is
right?
very strong.
So,
Yeah.
you know, we want to make sure that we do everything right, in terms of there's a lot of regulations that are coming down. A lot of mom and pop people might get moved out the market because you're ingesting it in your body. It needs to be some regulations around certain things.
Agreed.
So the name of the company is going to be, it's True Science. And Shannon, obviously, I left a shirt here for you.
That's what's up. Thank you very much.
True Science,
All right.
Innovations in Hemp. Bong
Okay.
bong. That's
Yep.
what we do. Next
Show
time
it
I
out
bring
there
one for
again. Hold it
everybody.
up.
Yeah.
True Science, Innovation in Hemp. The .com is up. We're revamping the website. You know, we'll have all the edibles, the dog stuff, whatever the case is. And you know, like you said, there's gonna be a lot of people that are in the market. But you know, that's why we're not you know, we're really gonna be on the medicinal side of it, right?
Okay.
Testimonials, doctors, and stuff like that. So it's just an exciting time, man. Exciting time to wake up every day, entrepreneur. Every day is goddamn different. You gotta love that shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it didn't happen when I worked a 9-to-5 job. And the bottom line, like you said, everybody can do it.
Yes.
You know, instead of watching season 6 of Game of Thrones or The
There you
Walking
go.
Dead,
Yeah.
Word up.
what's up with the first season of your own fucking life?
Right.
That's what's up right there.
And that's what we talk
Thank
about. I ain't worried about where Kawhi Leonard is going. Where
No.
you going?
Yeah, me neither.
Right?
I'm not. I don't really care that Drake likes fucking Canada basketball. I don't really give a shit.
Not putting
I-
any money in my pocket.
I don't give
bro.
a shit if they kick beat him to the floor and slam dunk his ass either.
He's a little over exuberant.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Joe, tell everybody how they can find you.
Mr. Joe. Again, my name is Joseph L. Cameron. You can find me at my website, jlcsocialmarketing.com. We do also own a esports brand. For those who do not know, speaking of getting ahead of trends and opportunities, esports is
nuts.
is on trend to make more money, more income than football, more revenue than American football within the next 7 years.
Yeah.
So we are on the ground floor in our esports
Joe, educate me.
brand.
What's esports, brother?
Yeah,
Video
so
games,
esports is
man.
basically
Okay,
playing
I'm
video games
assuming.
professionally.
Okay.
We do actually have the main place for a lot of it is twitch.tv. It's a
Yes.
it's a website service.
Yes.
And our channel on there actually just today, right before we got here, I checked the numbers and we just hit 1,000 views per day.
Nice.
So every day consistently, we're at least getting 1,000 live
There's
viewers.
1,000 human beings
Yeah.
doing that every day.
Every single day.
Yeah,
That's dope.
just tuning in, being part of the community. So that's a great thing. So JLC Social Marketing, speedrunhype.com, that's the name of the brand. And I am also writing a book that my wonderful team is helping me with, but it is called The Social Marketing Formula, and
That's
it's
what's up.
specifically on
Love
how
that.
to prove a return from social media.
That's
because
it.
that is
An
the missing
ROI.
key.
ROI.
That's
Return
always
on
the missing
investment.
key.
Yeah,
Like
they try to-
everybody can post, but can you prove that you put this much time or this much money into it and you actually received something back? And how much? Beyond the shadow of a doubt. It's not rocket science as long as somebody explains it to you. And I know I couldn't find something for many years. That's why I'm creating this.
There you go.
Thank you.
And it should be out soon.
Thank you.
Sign
That's
my book, Joe.
fantastic. That's
I'm
what's
buying
up.
that shit.
Yeah, me too. I get one of those, and that's always been my biggest issue with what I do is that, yo, my brother's watching with us. Yo, big shout out to Big Rich, man. Love you, bro.
Yo.
Jeff's next one, please. Big Rich, thank you very much. Make your ass available. But it's fantastic. I love the idea of giving back, even though it's in the form of a book. Again, you're doing two things here, which I absolutely adore. He's going to help you folks out there. He's just asking for a little bit of money in return.
Just I will give you
Buy
back
the book.
more than you give me. I will give you back more than you give me.
Buy the book and he will give you what you need. And I love that idea. You know, what's funny is that people look at it differently. So, of course, saw an opportunity, knew that there was a need for it, and now I'm going to make a move.
Creative.
That's a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Come on now, right? Keith, tell us all about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, with the social media, it's not voodoo. It's not some black magic. It's real. Like, you're talking to Rich right now because he's watching through social media.
Exactly.
I tweeted the link, put it on my Facebook. It's real. There could be someone watching right now that's getting something from this that says, you know what, tomorrow's
100.
Monday. I'm starting tomorrow. Man, I'm blessed to be where I am. If you want to look me up, it's just Keith McPherson, KeithMcPherson, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. A while ago I realized just to make my name, my handle, my account, just like being in social media. I did that in like 2013 or 2014, not knowing where I'd be today, but knowing that there's going to be a simple way for you to connect all of this stuff. And being able to work in New York City corporate behind the likes of Major League Baseball, MTV, Fubo TV, and Rock Nation, man, when I was commuting all those hours, eating my lunch that I packed up, I got to put in the microwave, sitting and do on Instagram. I knew that one day out of there and I'd apply that knowledge and those things to what I'm doing. And it's awesome. I will say this one thing, this is the last thing I want to get for people that are listening, watching this. You're your worst enemy. Your mind is going to tell you can't do it. You're going to be afraid and have that fear because you live in America. We're all programmed to like, no, go to work, right?
Yes.
I said to someone recently, man, I didn't know any better. I went to school. They told me, go to college, get a degree. I dropped out of college twice because I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
But I got the degree.
Yeah.
Then I got the job, right? And I didn't get the job right away, but I just kept going to the job. Don't leave your job. You got to move up and climb the corporate ladder. Oh, you left the company? Yo, you can do that.
Yes.
Trust yourself, right? If you feel it in your bones, if you feel the energy in your brain and in your hands and in the universe that what you're doing is right, you know when you're doing something wrong. You feel it in your body, this is not right. But when you're doing something right, man, trust it. It's going to suck. You're going to take L's. The money might not always be there, but when the money does come or the things do happen, and it's not all money, right? When it starts to connect, you're going to be thanking yourself that you didn't hate on yourself, that you didn't second guess yourself, man. So if you have an idea, a lane, go for it. And don't start tomorrow, start now. Keith McPherson on everything. Shout out to Shannon for giving us this platform. Shout out to the Jersey City Tech guys because I got with them in November off of Instagram.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, I asked to be on the panel. He asked to be on the panel. Now we're here today. This is how this stuff grows. This is how you connect and how you put things together with like-minded people. And it's literally something you'll look back on a year from now and be like, man, that was dope.
Word up. All right, let's finish this up here, Mr. Ben. And you, Mr. Benjamin Sexual.
Benjamin Sexual.
I'll speak sexually into the microphone this time so you can hear me properly.
Don't do that because everybody out there is going to get excited.
It's all right. You can all
Sexual
relax.
Sunday.
You can all relax.
I don't want nobody home beating off to this. You understand what I mean?
Didn't know we were
That
Not that kind of podcast.
Benjamin Sexual
Exactly.
or just Ben has something to say.
That's what's up.
Being an entrepreneur is honestly being an artist. I play guitar and I write poetry, and that's kind of when you're an entrepreneur and you're creating something, you're an artist. You're not painting, you're not writing a song, you're creating a thing in the world that's going to affect everybody. So you are an artist in a very special way. And people
Agreed.
like us that are all here right now, we're doing this entrepreneurial road. I can never say that word right, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Because
We know what you mean.
yeah, you know what I mean. But like the world and society tries to just trap you into how it should be.
Yeah.
And we are animals that can't be caged.
True.
So we are always looking to the sun and saying, I'll get to that fucking sun. I ain't staying in this cage. So we're creating our own path as artists, as professionals, and as friends.
That's what's up.
That's
awesome.
That's a great
Yeah.
message. So I always like to close up the show with the same thing. I'm going to get out some fortune cookies here. I like the idea of the fortune cookie. It gives everybody a surprise and a laugh and a glimmer in their eye when they think that somebody else has a hint at the future for them. It's always a fun thing to do. So, and that being said, I'm going to get these out. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Can anyone actually beatbox?
I can try.
No.
You know, I can do noise.
I can't hold it for too long. Because if someone could be back in the day, man, I'd rap something.
Good intro.
Yo, here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Rocking with Shannon Ambrosio. Podcast, this ain't my first rodeo. Hey, I'm going in, you know it, bro. Every time you hear me on the mic, I get hype. We can do this till the end of the night. All right, 1, 2, and a 3. Chilling with Ben, he's sexual, you see. Yeah, got Joe here, he knows the digital stuff.
Sexy. Yeah.
Sexy with the digital market.
Listen to me.
That was actually
Yo,
really
that was
good.
good.
I waited for the iTunes single.
That was the break right there.
And wait a minute. Every podcast, I do this weird thing in every podcast. So our unsponsor today is brought to you by rap music. You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop made me do it.
Word up. So everybody, grab a fortune cookie, but don't open it because I'll show you how it works.
I hope mine's better this time.
Okay. And then everybody will don't open them.
All right.
So now you can't open your own fortune. That's how that works.
Oh yeah.
So you pass it to the right.
Okay.
Take
To
the
the
fortune cookie and pass it to the right.
I got the second.
You have to be giving somebody their fortune. So now we open them.
All right.
Are they our fortune or their fortune?
They're yours now.
Oh, shit.
So basically that's how it works. Somebody has to give you your fortune. So in other words, you're not supposed to open your own fortune cookie.
All I hear is crunching.
You hungry?
Only here on
probably ate the
Everything
paper.
and
He
Nothing
probably ate the
podcast.
fortune.
Listen, he's gonna speak the fortune now. Fucking Ben, absolutely love him.
Yeah, this guy tried to eat the paper.
Man, don't eat your fortune.
Too sexual.
He's
Trying to take it all in one bite.
All right, Jeff, you want to lead us off?
Absolutely. So this is now his
No,
fortune.
it's
It's mine,
yours.
right?
It's
Gotcha.
yours,
Fantastic. So what it's telling me is apply your imagination to any problem that arises.
All right.
That's
We do that all the time.
That's a
right?
wonderful,
That's a good
wonderful
thing, right?
Creative
All right, Mr.
thinking.
Ben.
We solve stuff.
Be considerate of your teachers.
When he was a little kid, he mixed glue and water together in a cup. Tried to make his teacher drink it.
Because my
Wow.
substitute teacher has my first attention. I tried to kill her with glue.
Wow.
I hope
All
it's like
right.
the non-toxic.
But now I'm
Elmer's
considerate of
glue.
my teachers.
It's organic glue.
Man.
Well, it can be applied to
Organic hemp glue.
It can be the application of your mentor.
No, I'm going to say it right here.
Yes.
You're all my teachers in a way. Genuinely. Every one of you has taught me something, and I appreciate that for real. If I'm just sitting here alone thinking about my ideas, I'm not growing. It's being around people like you to actually take it to the next level and get new ideas and grow from that. So
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Ben.
all you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Rob, let's hear what your fortune says.
Second that. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that.
All right.
That's pretty negative,
good
bro.
one.
What the fuck?
You
No,
gave
that's
it
a
to
good
me,
one.
Mr. Sexual.
Exactly. All right, let's
Gotta
see.
stay positive.
Let's see
over
what they
there,
got
Rob.
here. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Gotta get
Show
the glasses.
all you people out there how old I fucking really am. All right, let's get the spectacle goggles on.
I'm right behind you, brother.
A new environment makes all the difference in the world. True fact.
Oh,
Indeed.
shit.
Yeah,
So
about that.
Switch it
hence
up once in a
hence the
while.
idea of being an entrepreneur, your environments change constantly.
Mhm.
So
And if you don't like where you're at,
change
Move.
that shit.
Yeah.
Better be
Get
able
the
to
fuck out of
adapt
there.
as well.
Yeah.
Better be able to adapt to every environment.
All right, Jonathan, let's see what we got here.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Jonosophus.
All right, Joseph, that's fine.
Maxim for life. You get treated in life the way you teach people to treat you.
What the
This
hell is that?
This is me exactly.
That one hit you?
I
That
don't
one hit
take
you spot
anybody's
on?
bullshit
See?
because if you let them step on your toes once, they'll keep stepping on your toes.
That's
if you give
right.
them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Word up.
You got to keep it in line.
There it is.
Word up.
I
Some
love that.
people I'd like to give the whole fucking shebang to, not just the inch.
Benjamin Sexual agrees with that. I knew you'd say something. We all did.
On brand.
Cannabis lotion.
Ooh,
Let's
Hepworth.
All right, Mr. McPherson.
Mine is pretty spot on too, man. And before I read it, I'm 31, and at 31, I was like the first time where I'm like, yo, I'm not a kid. I don't feel like a kid anymore. But in a way, like I still feel like that kid
to the
spirit.
club.
So it says working with children has a miraculous effect on your spirits, man. When I was at Bonnaroo, every kid I saw, I was just pumped. I'm like, you're at Bonnaroo as a kid? That's sick for what you're gonna grow up and be. You're seeing this at 5, 6, 7, man.
Dude, you think they took kid drugs to go there though?
Kids are naturally on drugs. These kids wake up on drugs.
Yeah,
they don't need anything, man.
Especially kids at 6 Flags.
Working with children has a miraculous effect on your spirits. At 31 is the first time in my life where I'm like, yo, I can teach somebody something.
Yeah.
I can show somebody something. Years before, I was like, I'm still learning. I'm still young. I am, but like, no, I can actually affect younger people now.
Yes,
which is dope.
by all means.
Which is dope.
This has been another wonderful and amazing, and I'm glad this finally happened where we have multiple guests on here. And the best part about it is the audio technical difficulties have been kind of worked out, so everything seems to be working.
This studio is legit, man. This was solid,
and I'm very happy about this, and I'd like to say thank you everybody out there who's giving me a hand, which was fucking nobody. My brother helped me out a little
Thanks
bit.
for
That's
none of your help.
is something that's true to me and means a lot. And that is that we all have a voice. We all have the ability to express ourselves at any time. Give it a shot. Give it a try. You are an entrepreneur. You can and will have the ability to do what it is that you want to do as long as you have the drive to make it happen. We love being who we are. And as an entrepreneur, we implore you to be like Robert Frost and take that road less traveled, folks. This has been the Everything and Nothing podcast. And remember, every day is a good day. And if you give a smile, you're going to get a smile. So give a bunch of them smiles out there today, folks. It's Sunday. We all need it. That's what's up. I'm going to turn this off.
Shout out to Ambrosio.
What's up, Big
Rich?
Big Rich?
Well done. Say hello.
That's it.
And that's a wrap.
It's gonna be so crazy listening to you guys through my own ears.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not ready to take this off yet. I still want to talk into this. I like it more when I can talk into my own ears.
Hello, Benjamin.
I want more.